Hi everyone, it is me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, coming to you with a knitting stitch tutorial. Today's tutorial is going to be the Blackberry stitch. It is a very simple 4-row repeat to obtain a really pretty textured stitch. Some of the stitches you will need to know is how to purl multiple stitches together and knit and purl and yarn over. So making a stitch by using a yarn over. Today's stitch tutorial comes with multiples of 4. So go ahead and cast on in your favorite cast on way, multiples of 4, or count up the stitches that you have on that particular project you're working on and see if you have multiples of 4 to work with. Let's go ahead and get started. This particular swatch, I used some of this Yarn Bee Delish Boutique that I had in my scrap bin. It is a 90% acrylic and 10% alpaca. It recommends a 3.75 knitting needles, but these are like a 4.5. I'm not going to continue on with this thin yarn to show you the swatch and the 4 rows. I'm going to actually be using a different color yarn. But you can kind of see that it is very textured and lots of fun to work up. So let's go ahead and set that aside and get started. Cast on in multiples of 4 or pick up in multiples of 4 on a current project. I will be right back with you. All right, so I have cast on 12 stitches. Let's go ahead and get started with row 1. We're going to jump right into this pattern right in the very first stitch. You're going to knit this first stitch, but do not remove it off your needle yet. Yarn over your needle and knit that stitch one more time. So we have just turned 1 stitch into 3. Slide that stitch off now. Now we're going to work into the next 3 stitches. You're going to purl each of the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to work that same stitch all over again. That is our repeat. So knit, yarn over, and knit all into that very first stitch. Knit, yarn over, knit all into the first stitch. And now slide it off. Now you can purl your next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Let's do that one more time together. So this next stitch, we're going to turn into 3. You're going to knit, bring that needle around, yarn over, and then bring your needle back through and knit one more time. So you have now worked 3 stitches into that 1. Go ahead and slide that off and purl your last 3 stitches. Then we're going to turn our work and begin row 2. For row 2, we're going to bring our yarn to the front and purl the very first 3 stitches together. So just as if you would purl 1, you're going to pick up the next 3 stitches. and purl them. That first stitch always takes me a second to get it situated. So then you purl them together and slide that stitch off. So now we took 3 stitches and turned it into 1. Now you're going to knit your next 3 stitches. Now we're going to purl 3 together. So sliding your needle in from right to left, picking up your next 3 stitches, yarning over and pulling your loop through for your new stitch. And now, once again, you have turned those 3 stitches into 1. Knit your next 3. 1, 2, and 3. Let's do this one more time. We're going to purl the next 3 stitches together. So pick up your next 3 stitches and purl them together. Now knit your last 3 stitches. Turn your work over and we will begin row 3. All right, so row 3 begins with purl 3, so 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do that, turn 1 stitch into 3 stitches. Knit, bring your needle around to the back, yarn over, bring your needle back to the front, and knit that same stitch again. Slide it off. So now we turned it back into 3 stitches. So that's what we're doing, is we're taking 3 stitches, making it into 1, and then turning it into 3 again. That's essentially what we are doing. Now we're going to purl the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to do that where we turn 1 stitch into 3. So knit, yarn over, and knit again. Purl your next 3. 1, 2, and 3. And this last stitch we're going to turn into 3. So knit, yarn over, and knit again. Slide it off. Now we're going to turn our work over and work row 4, which is our last row for your repeat rows for the Blackberry stitch. All right, row 4 begins with knit 3. So knit your first 3. 1, 2, and 3. And now purl 3 together. So we're going to pick the next 3 stitches up and purl them together. Now knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Purl your next 3 together. Knit 1, 2, and 3, and purl your last 3 stitches together. And that is your 4-row repeat for the Blackberry stitch. I'm going to go ahead and work a few more repeats of this particular stitch pattern. Okay, so here you have your 4-row repeat. I'm going to go ahead and work up a few more repeats of those 4 rows, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have completed a few more repeats so that way you could get a better look of the pattern for the Blackberry stitch. I hope that you found this tutorial easy to follow and you enjoyed. So this is the back side, just so that way you can see what the back side looks like, the reverse side. And then you have your textured side, which you can see right about there that it's on an angle, because the way that those groupings are worked, it gives you these little bubbles, or blackberries as it would be called. All right, everyone. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. Be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.